Are there any comments or changes to the minutes?
They looked good to me.
Nope, nothing here.
Motion to accept?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you, Susan.
My pleasure. It was an easy one. Oh, I have to start out the meeting by saying we have to be done before 6 o'clock because the same link is being used. I forget which other commission, but somebody just sent me a note that somebody else is meeting at 6 and needs this link. So we have to talk fast.
Well, I guess the one definitive thing that's happened since last time is the meeting with the finance committee about our budget, which went very well. They were very enthusiastic about the walk idea, and I checked the warrant and it's on the warrant, so we seem to be good to go.
Excellent.
Good.
So the only agenda item, formal agenda item, is to discuss the walking tour. And I haven't the least idea how to proceed, and I will take suggestions and thoughts.
I have some.
We see you as the fearless leader in the walking tour.
I have a couple of questions, things that I see that kind of need to happen to start us down like the path to making this a reality. But the first thing I wanted to share is so I took Judy, the information that you sent, and I compiled that into just a single like shareable document. And one thing to note is like we have 18 spots on that list. So one thing to talk about is that a good number? That's a little bit higher than kind of what I had recommended in the proposal, but that's, that's still fine, I don't think. But so I think it might be good to talk kind of through those and start thinking about some of the pieces that are going to be needed. Because I have had a couple of thoughts in my head, one of them being, does or can the Historical Commission have a town email address so that, if we're going to be using any of these tools like SoundCloud, we can have an account that's tied to the Historical Commission and not to one of our individual email addresses.
We do have one.
We do have one.
Historical Commission at Whately.org.
Okay. I figured we probably did, but it would be good to use that to set up these accounts.
I should point out that the list I sent is missing the church, which
it was missing the church, yeah.
So, and I do have bits and pieces. I have quite extensive research on that, the history there, but it wasn't included in that, and I'd have it's one of those things to pull together, but
we could certainly add that. One of the things that I was thinking about, because we left the last meeting talking about how to incorporate kind of all the resources that we have, images and whatnot. And you guys had done that, the hidden history, and we have a little like kind of landing page for that. And I wonder if it would make sense to have a similar like landing page for the walking tour, something that might include like a basic map of like the walk. So you have, your little trail and then the highlighted points, links to the audio files possibly, and some of the other images that we wanted to share. So that's something that we could put together that could exist on the Whately website. that gives people, if you can't go out and walk, like a place to actually experience the walking tour there as well. So those were some of my thoughts in terms of how to include broader resources versus just like the audio in a single image, which is what is provided through the SoundCloud. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that as an option.
When you say it had 18 spots plus now one, so 19, what was your ideal number?
Based on, hold on, I gotta pull up my proposal because I don't want to misquote. I don't want to misquote myself. Because I think I had said 12 as a maximum,
Yeah.
but you know, how many were on this example? It's Dublin, which is a house tour. They had 9 stops on the example that I shared in
Mhm.
SoundCloud.
Right.
One way to think about it is how much time do you think anybody's really going to want to spend
Yeah.
doing this?
Mhm.
And if our thing is too long, what will happen is people will start it and they'll go, places 1 through 6 or 7 or 8, and then they'll never get to stop 18. That seems like a lot of stops and almost too many stories to tell, you know.
Yeah, I
That's,
totally
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I mean, there might in a different place, like in Deerfield, there's a number of different walking tours that have been done that are broken down. They don't do it house by house by house by house. It's done by topic. So there's a
Yeah.
native one, there's an English settlement one, there's a 1704 raid one. You could have those kind of categories. I don't know how that works for Whately, but you could do it by time. You could do the first 2 centuries and the last 2 centuries. I don't know, whatever you wanted to do.
I mean, I think that's not a bad idea. I agree with you, Allison. I think the way to think about this is how long of a tour do we want this to be? And I think the sweet spot is like 30 to 40 minutes and no longer.
It's like, how long do you want people to sit at a lecture? 30 to 40 minutes is just about what I think is a comfortable zone.
Yeah.
An hour, people get fidgety. Hour and a half, way too much.
Mhm. Yeah, agreed.
And I haven't read through this to do any kind of timings, and it's not in script form or anything yet. But that like ideal time for each stop based on what I had looked up was about 90 seconds, no maximum 3 minutes is
So
how long you would expect someone to be
a
there.
minute to walk to the next stop from A to B, and 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. I mean, you got to have time there.
Yeah.
And
So I
I
think
think
there's
it's
some honing to do.
important to realize that that tour was really aimed at people from Whately. So there wasn't much attempt to make it interesting for people who weren't necessarily solely interested in Whately history.
How would that be different, Judy?
I think it assumes a little bit like
Well,
older people would know.
but you have to assume for this, you have to assume a very low common denominator
Yeah,
of an 11-year-old from New York.
yeah. Because
The
there's
lowest
references to
denominator.
Yeah, the
people.
lowest level of, reference.
There's a house that was the minister's house, which is its historical claim to fame, but Joe Nickerson lived there, and Joe Nickerson was a organist who played all over. And when this was given, there were a lot of people who knew him and who would dance to his organ music and seen him in the bicentennial parade playing an organ. And so things like, gee, look at the musical notes on the front railings, that was of interest to people. I don't, if that house, I suspect it would not make the final cut anyway, but if it did, I don't think you'd talk about the musical railings very much. So there's some of that.
So Ashley, do you have a suggestion about culling and editing? Like,
I mean, we
I mean,
could,
you said you got it into one
it's just,
document.
I just have it in a single document.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, the way that I would approach it is to think about, it would be to look at it and think about what are the criteria
Mhm.
that we want to highlight about Whately.
Mhm.
Um, and kind of to Allison's point, talking about Deerfield having these kind of specific specialty tours and stuff, like, is is this a tour where we want to highlight um our revolutionary roots? Is this a tour where we're just highlighting? I mean, like, I think that's kind of what I would think about, like, what is the theme,
Mhm.
or what are the criteria that we want to really promote as a historical commission. I don't necessarily know the answer to that. I'm just posing the question.
That's good. No,
And
yeah.
again, and Judy, you know the history inside and out. I have not, other
Yeah.
than copying and pasting things over, I haven't really spent the time to read through it. So I don't have any specific
There,
suggestions, but
there are some things that I think people will be surprised at. The number of inns
Oh, yeah.
or taverns,
Mhm.
the number of stores, the extent to which, and maybe you just have to be an architectural buff for this, but there are several houses that the original house was moved back on the lot and the fancier, newer one was put in front. And, that to me is kind of fun, but and there are, when you get to something like when you start looking at the church, I mean, one thing that's interesting about that is the way it moved over time. It was first in a tavern. I think that's was probably where Howard Nanner's house is now, next to you, Mary.
Mhm.
And then when they built a church, it was pretty much just a shack, and it was up where the library is, pretty much. And then they built a nice one. It was literally in the middle of the road in front of where town hall and the post office are now, and the road went around it. And then the church that's there now was a spin-off church because that church in the middle of the road was too newfangled and liberal. So they wanted a conservative church. It had all these temporary ministers from Amherst College, and they were just way too liberal. So some of the history, when you think about it, isn't there to see now, like the hidden history. So,
Right.
but
The history
I'm
of the
not sure
church would be
any of those
interesting.
is big enough to build a whole tour around. But they are interesting, and there are different ways to look at it.
Another filter you could apply is what really is there to see. I mean, the point of walking around is to use the landscape as the visual illustration
Yeah.
for the text. Otherwise, you could just read the text and not need to go anywhere and look at a
Mhm.
picture. So I don't know how much you can, while you're standing there, what there is to see, in fact. But I'm just saying that's another way to, if you have to make choices between this one or that one, I would think it would be a stronger candidate if you had a visual reference for people to look at.
I would also add to that, at least what I think would be interesting, like if we have older reference photos.
Before
Um,
and after.
yeah, so that people can kind of see the changes or whatever. I mean, I find that in the idea of understanding about inns and taverns and stores very interesting because it really demonstrates how the town, sorry about my cat, how the town has shifted
Yeah.
over time. And the church is obviously important because it's quintessential to the founding of the town itself. Um, and I imagine we probably have some images of the church and its different
Oh, yeah,
iterations.
sure.
Well, the church and the town hall and the inn, all in various iterations.
Mm-hmm.
And even the library, people are surprised to know it was white when it was built. It was supposed to blend in. But
Yeah, and that is like something that could be of visual interest because you could be standing in front of it and envisioning it as a different color.
yeah,
So I like the idea if it's going to be a walking tour to look at some of the things of visual interest, and to really emphasize the seeing part that one can do.
well, would one thing be for each of us to, Ashley's document has tabs, and each tab is a building or a page from my walking tour. If we each read through to find what and maybe each, I don't know, pick the top 8 or 10 sites that we would pick
Sure.
and rank them, or do ranked choice voting or something like.
Vote them up or vote them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you in that Google Doc you can use the comment feature and just like make a note, which would be useful.
Would that work? I mean, it's a start. It's not going to give us a cohesive piece,
But it will help to winnow stuff. And I think maybe if everyone can commit to selecting like their top 12, um, and even like if there are certain things that stand out to you that would be of historical interest, visual interest,
Or I would say
s-
even a theme.
or a theme, you can highlight and add that as a comment, and that can kind of help, I think, guide it. And I'm happy to kind of collapse all of that together and come back with a proposal about the actual like content to include.
Sure. Would you mind resending it?
Not at all.
That way it's at the top of my inbox. Thank you.
possible theme is technology, I guess, or well, it's I guess it's not really a theme, but it was interesting to me that the store was the site of the post office, and then the store this was the store in the inn, and then it was the site of the telephone operator and the first connection, and then by the time you moved away from needing a central telephone board or connection thing, then the store kind of got small and moved across the street, but it stayed as the post office. Now it's just the post office. So anyway, that's a small piece.
But I mean, it makes for a compelling story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been a while since I've looked at the hidden history
Yeah, same here.
site, but I also feel like that might be a good place to reflect on. I don't want to repeat the
Well,
feeling of
you're
that,
gonna
right?
repeat things because there's a list of taverns,
Right.
yeah.
And well, I think to a certain extent it's okay. I want to make sure that this is a different
Yeah.
project. I'm not necessarily concerned about repeating spots, but I want to make sure that it feels like a different project.
Okay.
So it might be worth a review. to take a look at that. And it also might give us some ideas about if we want to host a landing page instead of just this audio as an option, how we might structure it.
Judy,
Yeah,
how many houses in the list were present in 1775 on your list?
the Oliver Morton house, which is the one with the yellow barns, the rear L of that was the back end and
Oh, this is a better question. Not the buildings. How many of those lots were occupied in 1775 that you could say, you know, Paul Revere lived here?
I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. But anyway, that's a good question because it would be interesting to know whether the patriarch at that time, what side of the coin he was on.
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really fun to have a list of loyalists and patriots for Whately in that year, but it's kind of hard to define.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah, I mean, the other thing that's a problem is that there was also a big settlement down on River Road, so
oh, I know, but we're
the
not dealing
taverns
with that.
there,
Yeah.
so we're splitting the small population.
No, well, you were talking about making it pertinent to the revolution, and I'm
Yeah.
just trying to think of how many of these buildings were even had people in them at that time. There's some that are just off the reservation,
Yeah,
periphery, but not on this tour. Down
Yeah.
Christian Lane, over here, the other way, you know. Anyway,
yeah. Well, does that give us homework assignment enough?
Seems like it.
I think so.
A
Yeah.
good starting point.
And I think before our next meeting, if we can work on that, then our next meeting can be looking at what the like kind of proposed stops will be, what that walk is going to be, and next steps for refining a script, seeking a voice talent, that sort of thing.
One technical point on the landing page, which I think is a great idea. Evidently, with the new town website, the only people who can post to it are town employees. And so I know Donna Wiley has been talking about getting the hidden history moved to the Historical Society website so that it can be easily edited if or changed as needed.
added to, yeah.
Yeah. I think it might to me, it seems to make perfect sense to at least start by hosting it on the town website, but it may well run into the same problem, so. But that's a minor point.
Okay.
Would the Historical Society be open to hosting this?
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I mean, I would say
They already
whatever
have quite a bit, I'm sorry, they have quite a bit of content, you know, public
already.
resources stuff
Yeah.
already.
Because I would say, like, yes, it would be great to have it hosted by the town just because we're a town commission, but also lowest hanging fruit to
But
me is fine.
you know what, if you were looking for this kind of thing, if I was looking for it for the town of Deerfield, for example, I wouldn't start with the town website.
You'd probably go to their historical commission.
Yeah. or the
Historical
Hatfield
Society.
Town website. I wouldn't, that's not where I would look. So.
Yeah.
All right, we
We
good?
have our marching orders.
Is that our next meeting?
May 18th. That work for everybody?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Happy spring.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.